let's get into the video. So let's say this: who should use this two-step strategy that I'm talking about? And I'm glad you asked, because that's an excellent question. I believe that the two-step strategy should be used first and foremost by a first-time home buyer. Okay. By definition, that's anyone, any person or family who has not owned or had ownership interest in a home within the past 3 years. So if my math serves me correctly, say 20, 21, 22. Okay. So if we start in 20, that's 21, 22, 23, January. Okay. So anything prior, let's say December 2019, going back that way, if you've not owned a home, right, as far as the definition is concerned, you've not owned or had ownership interest in a home, you would be considered a first time home buyer. Let's go a little deeper, because we're in the state of Texas. Texas is a community property state. So for those of us that have spouses, ownership interest is defined as any person who is living in the home as his or her primary residence and who is listed on the deed. Okay. So even, let's say, you've come together in a union, you've become married, okay, and now you own a home, but one or the other is not on the loan, you still have had ownership interest because you're on the deed, because we're in a community property state. So if you have any problems with that or anything of that nature, reach out and we can help you figure it out. So lastly, someone, anyone that fits the first two things, right? The first two tests: first time home buyer, hadn't owned or had ownership interest in the most recent 3 years, and you pay federal taxes. For this strategy to work, you have to pay taxes federally, i.e., you have a job. So typically that's going to be most people, right? W-2 employed, self-employed, got to pay some federal taxes for this strategy. This two-step, that's what I'm thinking, for the two-step to work, right? So number two, let's get into number two. Why use the two-step strategy? Okay. Y'all just stay with me. Let me cook this meal. So the reason you want to use the two-step strategy, okay, is because of this right here. It's called a mortgage credit certificate. What is that, you ask? I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you. A mortgage credit certificate, first of all, has been around for longer than I've been around, right? So it's probably been around longer than you guys have been around. But what it does, in essence, it reduces your federal income taxes every year by allowing you, the homeowner, to get 20% or convert 20% of the interest that you pay on your home loan, okay? Convert that to where you can actually get it back. It's a credit. Unlike mortgage interest, for those that don't know, when it's tax time here in a couple of months, you can take the mortgage interest that was paid, right, and the taxes up to $10,000, and you can lower or help you lower your overall tax number, income number, and possibly put you in a lower tax bracket, tax threshold. But the reason credits are better, because that's money. You get that fatty wop, that you get that fiat, right? It's actually a credit. Okay. So, and this effectively reduces your tax rate. Okay. So I don't want to talk over your head, but long and short of it is this. Let's say you're used to getting back an income tax return at the end of the year. You've paid more than you should. You're going to get some money back, right? Let's say you bought your home and then you've utilized this mortgage credit certificate. And let's say for example sakes, this is just an example, right? Let's say your interest rate on your loan was 7%. Okay, because that's 7%. So effectively, every year you could take 20% of the interest and convert it into a credit. What happens with most people is they get more monies back because they've put the amount of taxes that they have to pay in that bucket throughout the year, and now the bucket is full. All right, you met the threshold, but now you got an additional tax credit in it. Your bucket runneth over. Or I've had clients take this money, this 20%, okay, and they've had a tax bill. You can actually take this and pay the tax bill. Let's say you're in a year where you really don't have, it doesn't work out. You know, they played with the standard deduction again. They've increased it. It's not going to work in your favor. Well, you can take the credit and move it forward for 3 years. You have 3 years until which you can use it. Excellent strategy. And I don't hear enough people talk about it. And this is something folks that deal with me know, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. This is something we've been doing for years, right? But that 7% interest rate, the effective rate is actually 5.6%. So let that sink in. This is why it's very important, right? I'm going to do a little commercial right now. It's very important to choose your team wisely and to work with somebody that you know, like, and trust. More importantly, not someone, no disrespect, that just can get along from A to B, or they dress nice and they do nice videos, but you need someone to help you plan. Someone to help you make more dollars out of your cents, okay? Help you stretch that dollar further than you normally would. So I won't go too deep, not going to give away the store, but I would admonish you to hit the link in the description. Let's schedule a consultation and let's talk about your situation.